Well, good after morning, ladies and gentlemen, mothers, fathers, daughters, sons, brothers and sisters. Welcome to PSGL PCF2 Season 31, round number 6 here in the beautiful Ardennes Forest, otherwise known as Spa. My name is Chris Buxton and I'll be flying solo in the commentary box as Dan Field has decided to go on holiday. I mean, who authorised that? I don't know. So I'm afraid you have to put up with me and me alone. Here at PSGL, sponsored of course by the wonderful GT Omega, we have got a wonderful night racing ahead of us. Now, a few things that I do want to go over whilst waiting for the lobby to get underway. So, firstly, I want to talk about the changes in the grid for tonight, which I will come on to when the lobby actually starts, just so it doesn't look strange when I suddenly bring up my Discord window into the camera. But we do have to talk about some changes going on in the commentary booth here. For those that haven't kept up with the social media here at PSGL, the one and only George Morgan has decided to step down from commentary duties, an end of an era for the Welsh wonder. Great shame, because my God, has he done so much here at PSGL, pretty much revolutionising or launching and revolutionising the PC side here at PSGL, going from 700 followers to 22,000. Numbers don't lie, and yes, of course, there's a huge team behind. We can't thank all of our commentators and graphics designers, and of course our admins enough for all of their work that goes on behind the scenes here at PSGL. But the George is standing down from his duties, which also means that Dan Field is stepping into his shoes. He filled in when George wasn't able to had some disruptions to his schedule last season, and Dan now has that spot full time. So we wish Dan very, very well. A brilliant fit up in PCF1 alongside the mighty Jack Cadan. Now, joining me from next week onwards is going to be Luke Etheridge, which I'm really, really, really looking forward to working with Luke. Me and Luke have worked together before, so looking forward to doing so again. Just keeping an eye on the lobby. On my OBS, my camera keeps cutting off. I don't know why. Doesn't normally do that. Hopefully the stream is behaving us up. Hoping you're all well and ready for a fantastic evening's racing here on PCF2. We have got only 4 drivers have had to be had reserves standing in. That is me going through the menus. You can hear we aren't getting up and running just yet. So who have we got? I'll bring up the list of replacements shortly, because I can't remember all of them off the top of my head. All 4 of them I know. Such a taxing thing to have to remember. Ben Sabakonyi is in the Haas. He's standing in. One absence I do remember is Alfie Butcher, so that's going to be interesting towards the sharper end of the championship. So looking forward to seeing how we have Luke Smith, we have Will Lewis, we have Norbert Jakob, Jack West, Max Wiesel is with us, Simon Perny, Carter Lundy, Joost Noordijk, Andre Tarabukin, Matthew Alder returns to us, George Nader, Ben Sabakonyi, we have Svetkov, can't remember his first name, someone can remind me of that one, Primoz Miklavčić, whose name I'm sure I'm still not getting right, but I'm running with that. Ruben Pedranio, Ika Bayana, Isfran Puki, and Ruben Vallejo. The 2 Rubens in the McLarens. We are waiting for one more driver to get on board with us. So as soon as we have the other driver in our lobby, we will get underway. Now, I've just switched the camera off because I am going to just confirm who our driver changes are, and I need Discord for that, and that of course doesn't look particularly good. Who are we waiting on? I don't know is the honest answer. Right, where's my notes? Organisation failing me yet again. What a surprise. Right, Yeah, just trying to look to see who we're waiting on. I'm not 100% sure. So, we have got, as replacements, we've got Ika Bayena is standing in for Alfie Butcher. We have Will Lewis standing in for Duncan Hoffland. Svetkov is standing in for Sam McBride. And Jordan Poland, which I didn't see in the list, is standing in for Domenico Laveche. So, oh my. Now, unbeknownst to me, we have actually launched. So, let's head over trackside, shall we? But you won't see just yet. Let's kill the music and bring up the action. And it's wet. Oh God, is it wet? Oh my goodness me. That's yeah, no one has moved. I am not surprised in the slightest with that. It is chucking it down. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. Just going to make sure I have all of my necessary windows to hand. So I'm holding the pause because there is nothing going on track right now. No one has left. Oh no, there is movement. One of the Red Bulls has broken cover. Oh wow! People looking at full wet. It's that by a couple of inter runners. So we're actually going to see genuine intermediate running this time. Who was first out? Just wait for the board to tell me. It was Norbert Jakob. Hello those in chat, glad to have you along for the ride. And for those catching up post-event, we welcome you as well. Look at that. Oh my. If it rains in Belgium, my God, they do it well. Okay, so a few people have broken cover already. As we can see, Norbert Jakob, George Snader, Joost Noordijk, Matthew Walder, Max Wiesel, Carter Lundy. That's my control pad vibrating on the desk. We'll get rid of that. Carter Lundy and Ruben Pedreño have all broken cover and braved the elements early on. Now, it's going to be interesting to see whether we have... Yeah, I was just about to make that very point. Thank you there, Rabbit. I was about to say, it's going to be interesting to see if this level of rain persists into the race. We will have to find out, because I don't know. I don't know what the weather is doing. The drivers do. I don't get updated for such things. So I am as much in the dark on that one as you. Most people coming out on circuit now. Just Christoph Zeller, Istvan Pukki, Simon Perroni, Luke Smith and Ben Sabakonyi yet to hit the track. We'll stick with Norbert Jakob, but he was first out. He's been chased by one of the Astons, so that's Joost Noordijk or Will Lewis. I think it's Joost. Yes, it is Joost. Right behind him. But we'll stay with Norbert Jakob. Let's ride on board with him then. So having to accelerate out of the chicane in third gear to keep the wheel spin under control. Down towards La Source for the first lap in very soggy anger. Huge lockup coming into the first turn. And run over the rumble strip and then down the hill towards Eau Rouge. The Red River. Well, everything's a river right now in these conditions. And splat on the camera. Thank you very much for that. Oh, that could have gone nasty. But this is how much speed did Norbert Jakob have to scrub off to prevent himself slamming into the woods. My goodness me. Oh, and keep that one nice and steady coming through Les Comps. Now out of Normandy, you just cannot use all the road. You can't, and that's an invalid lap anyway from Norbert Jakob. So let's see, did Joost? Joost is still going, so he's right behind him on track. We'll stick with the Aston now. Bruxelles hugging that inside line. The Aston getting all kinds of squiggly. Now through No Name Corner. Or Speaker's Corner, I'm going to call it No Name. You can at me all you like for that one. And swinging through Pouon. Double ghost it seems to be called these days. Oh, and the tail just wanting to let go, but well caught by the Dutchman. Now down towards Lefania chicane. As you just look at the lack of throttle application, barely over half when you're not going straight. And just hugging the inside line coming through Campus, and again the car wanted to misbehave. Marcus Towler saying dry race. That would be a bit of a shame if that is the case, but that is the way it is. Stavalo, and then Paul Frey now. Blanchimont. Even in the wet conditions, these cars can do the first part of Blanchimont, but they have to lift off, and just invalidated right at the end for Joost. Who's the next car down the line? I think it's Manolda. He's invalidated. Who's next? Max Wiesel? No. Let's see, is it George's Nader? Yep, he's invalid as well. Find a lap. Let's see if we can find a valid lap in our field. Ruben Pedreño hasn't invalidated in the McLaren. Let's see what he can do then. Bit of lock-up coming into the chicane. But for the first valid lap on the board, let's see what it's going to be. It's over the line. A 157.4 is what is the marker that Ruben Pedreño has put down, and 158.6 for Max Wiesel. And Carter Lundy in the Alpine, 157.250, taking the top spot. Now, Spa being the way it is, being so long, they haven't got a lot of time to think about what they're doing as one of the Ferraris flies off the road in the background. Jack West, a 2:06. As the field can now come to complete their first laps, or the rest of the field. Svetkov in the Mercedes, 157.477. Even in the wet, even with a lap length of this ilk, we still have a time that's 200ths of a second apart from Ruben Pedreño. Great effort there. Ruben Vallejo, 2:01.994 on the board for him. Who's next? I think it's Miklavčić. Yes, it is. In the Alfa Romeo. What does he get? A 2:06 for Primož Miklavčić, but it's not uncommon to have to do several laps on one set of full wet tyres, so we will see if anybody else is going to continue to do that. I wouldn't be surprised if we just see that, lapping, as opposed to the usual do your lap, sit in the pits for a while, unless the weather is due to change. But if that was going to be the case, I would have thought people would have sat still until that weather change. We will see what happens. You can see the line being drawn in the water as Miklavčić has gone purple sector 1. Joost went on to do another lap. 157.130 in the Aston Martin. Simon Perroney's come back into the pits. Which Ruben do you mean? There are two, and both of them are in McLarens. As Pedreño is just coming to complete another lap, is he? Yes, he is, currently third. As Max Wiesel jumps back up into fifth. A few more people having set their second lap times. Norbert Jakob, George Naben, Matt Alder have done 2 laps. Simon Perroni still hasn't moved for some strange reason. I'm quite sure. Well, maybe he's just going to do one banzai lap of the end. Ika Baena is now out on circuit. Who's just done a lap? Jack West, I think. Yes, 157.718. So, times are getting closer. Andrei Terebukin in the Mercedes has come across the line in third. 157.274 on the board for him. So look at that. 157s are the top 10 at the moment. Now, we don't run the three-phase quality system in F2. It's just the single one-shot quality. No, it isn't. The single qualifying session. We only see the three-phase quality in F1. And Simon Perroni had finally decided to break cover and come out onto the track. Didn't see who just set a time. What about Miklavčić? He must have invalidated his last lap because he's still in 2:06. Fair play there, M Gaming. I love that comment. As a McLaren fan, I don't care which Ruben as long as it's one of them. I personally, I echo your sentiments. Luke Smith hasn't got a time on the board yet in the Ferrari, as Simon Perroni and Ika Baena are on their outlaps. Let's follow the Ferrari through the last part, or second half at least, of his laps. He's coming down towards campus, and then Savalo. Matthew Walder is back into the pits. 58.1 for him, just only a second behind Joost Noordijk, but that sees him right the way down in 14th place, which at a wet Spa is not bad at all, just a second difference. So, let's see what Luke Smith can get on the board. Last season's champion. Let's see what he can do. Oh, that's very deep into the chicane. And that is back into the pits. But now 56 is coming onto the board. Initially Pedreño and then Carter Lundy again has taken that top spot in the Alpine. Now Zvetkov is now up. Now Jack West, wow, we're now starting to see a big flurry of laps coming in, as several people, as you can see, just doing several laps. You wouldn't normally see multiple laps on a single set of tyres. But again, if we're facing a dry race, they don't need to keep these wet tyres in good condition, and they can go for quite some distance anyway. What about Ika Baena? He is coming down towards the Spanish chicane. Simon Perroni, where are you? You've just crossed the line. You've just started your time lap. A low 55 will be the pole time. Well, okay. Well, there's a 56.5 from Primož Miklavčič, who was in the 206s until just then. So he found 10 seconds, which, yeah, okay, I think it's fair to say that 206 was not a representative lap. That's kind of the time I would hope to set in the dry. Perroni some way behind. Who's just set a lap time? Pookie, possibly? Yes, it was indeed Eastman Pookie in the AlphaTauri, 157.118. Who is next over the line? It looks like it's one of the Red Bulls. Is it Norbert Jakob? Nope, he's coming back into the pits with an empty fuel tank. Who should we have a look at? Ika Baena has crossed the line. No, he's just started his... No, this... Oh, there he's invalid anyway. But 156.747 for him. Up into third in the Williams. Let's see what Simon Perroni can get on the board, because I think everybody else is either in the pits or on a cooldown lap now. Pedreño is coming back into the pits. Max Wiesel is coming back out for another go on a fresh set of full wet tyres. Let's see what the Frenchman can get on the boards. Gave Luke Smith a very good run for his money last season. But, it was the Brit that secured the title last time out. Luke Smith, speaking of, is just coming out of the pits. So it's just Perroni and Smith without a time on the board. Luke Smith coming down the Camel Straight towards Lake Arm now, as Simon Perroni coming towards the chicane. And again, the brake application is just as tentative as throttle application. You can see from the dials at the bottom. What can Simon Perroni in the Alfa Romeo get on the board? It is 6th with a 156.065. Not bad at all. So it's just Luke Smith then without a time on the board. Oh, Carter Lundy thought about Inters for a minute there. I think you'd be brave to try intermediates in these kind of conditions. I think you're some distance away from that, but they know what the track is like. No one else thinking. Oh, he's looking at it again. Look, that would have been a nice back camera if someone was actually right behind Simon Perroni there. Is Alfie Butcher racing? No, Alfie Butcher is not racing this evening. He's not available. Is this man that's standing in for him? Ika Baena has stepped into Alfie Butcher's shoes in the Williams, and Ika Baena is now coming down towards the line. It's an invalid lap this time around, but he'll be starting another one with only 5 minutes left. Is Carter Lundy actually going to come out on Inters? He doesn't have the best track record when it comes to wet weather tyres. Well, actually tyre choice in general, which is a bit of an unfair statement. But he doesn't. I remember he was disqualified from a race last season at, I believe it was Singapore, and because he forgot to change compound of tyre. And that's an invalid lap from Ika Baena as he comes up and over Radion. Oh, Miklavčič is thinking about the Inters as well. Alfie is a very good driver. You're absolutely right there, and Arjen. He's a superb driver. Actually, everyone taking part in F2 is a very, very good driver indeed. Luke Smith is on a time lap. Who was not afraid to give that one plenty of beans, coming up and over Radion. Onto the Camel Straight now for the Ferrari. Hard over to the left-hand side, throttle all the way down, and now moderated brakes. Again, you can't be full on the brakes for very long in these conditions, even with the full wet tyres. So very, very delicate throttle application coming through Lake Com and through Malmedy, down into Bruxelles now. Keep it nice and steady. And Primož Miklavčič has indeed come out on the Inters. With less than 4 minutes left, it's do or die, all or nothing. For Primož. Good luck to you on that one, and Carter can't decide which way he's going to go. So through Podium then. Oh, wow. That's lively, shall we say, coming through Podium. And that's on the full wets as well. So how Primož is going to do in with the Inters is going to be interesting to see. Carter, I think, is just having a bit of fun out there. I don't think he's actually going to come out on Inters, but we will see. The Canadian's proven me wrong before. Through Stavolo now, curveball fray for Luke Smith. Then the champion is championship defence has not gone brilliantly well, in fairness, but still plenty of the season left or still enough of the season left to go for him to be able to rack up some more points towards the chicane. Let's see. What can he get on the board? 156.546 by Primož Miklavčič. On the full wet tyres was the target, but that is a 58.236 for Luke. We did see him getting very, very squiggly. Let's have a look then at the very brave Primož Miklavčič. And Carter Lundy didn't brave the Inters. He's come back out on full wets. Let's see whether Primož is either he's either made a very heroic call, or he's going to be off into the wall very, very quickly. Now the Inters will behave themselves on a very wet track much better than slick tyres will on a slightly wet track. So he's got half a chance. We will see then. Into La Source. Can he get it slowed down? Bit of a lock up there, but that's nothing unusual for La Source in the wet. Down the hill then towards Eau Rouge. Running on board with the Alfa Romeo. Now, will the car behave itself? Yeah, coming down one gear, that's fine. The tail looked like it got a bit lively. Coming over Radion now to the Camel Straight. The end of it's invalid anyway, but if he carries on pushing, let's see what his first split time was. He was half a second down. So, yeah, not yet. I don't think we're going to be seeing Inters being the prime tyre. Where is Simon Perny? He is coming through Podium. And what about Carter? Carter is coming through Campus and Stavolo now with his teammate right in front of him. He's starting to back off that. So he should make it through. Is Simon Perny going to make it before the checkered flag? Should do. Definitely a bit slippery. You are not wrong there. Primož for pole. Who are you rooting for? Make it known, chat. Who are you cheering for? Primož Miklavčič. By the whole sum of 7 thousandths of a second, has the top spot from Jack West at the moment, but everybody is out there. And I thought Simon Perny was having a bit of a wobble there, but he's doing it intentionally. So Miklavčič, as we know, invalidated his time, and he's 2.5 seconds. Well, he's 2.5 seconds down on this lap, but that's fairly irrelevant at this point. Jack West currently sits in second. He is in Bruxelles. Carter Lundy has just started another time lap. A cheer for Joost. He is down in 16th at the moment in the Aston Martin, but he's quickest in Sector 2. Oh, Luke's here. A cheer for Luke Smith. Where is the Ferrari? He is coming into the Campus game, not quite, into Les Combes. Let's follow Joost then for the remainder of his lap. Your grandpa? Oh, okay, fair enough. We still have a cheer for Ruben, but you're cheering for 2 Rubens. There's Simon Perny. He's in 12th at the moment. Checkered flag is out. Any more improvements to people's times? Nader, 6th. Sella, 11th. Simon Perny, Norbert Jakob, and it's Joost up to the top spot with a 56.516. Norbert Jakob can do no better than 15th. Which we got a Ferrari coming over the line next. Tara Buchan is up into 6th. As Jack West is next to follow the line. You said Matthew, and then you jinxed Primož. Nice effort there. Jack West next over the line. What can he manage to get on the board? It's Paul with a 56.350, or Paul for now. One of the Rubens over the line is Pedreño, but it's third with a 56.527. Who is next? It's Svetkov in the remaining Mercedes. Tara Buchan has already crossed the line, and it looks like we have a stationary car. And that is 56.4 and fastest sector 3 for Svetkov, but it's not the top spot. What about Luke Smith? Just coming through the last section. He, of course, had the most amount of time to find. Stream towards the line. That's a 56.9, puts him in 13th. Carter Lundy, a 56.224. for the Canadian. Ika Baena has retired from the session, as has McClavchich. Jack West is up into second with a... Oh, no, sorry, beg your pardon. There's Simon Perroni has just crossed the line. 56.363. My word. Have we got anybody else still going? Matthew Alder, he's invalidated his time. What about Jakob? He's still going. No, he's already done. So your grid is as so. So we're just waiting for Matthew Alder to retire his car. It's Carter Lundy that takes the top spot alongside Jack West. Wow, brilliant effort there, Carter Lundy, showing the talent in the wet. Simon Perroni and Svetkov take on row 2. Then Joost Noordijk and Ruben Pedreño will have row 3. Primož Miklavčić, who held pole for a while, is pushed down to 7th in the end. Goodness me, how quickly that all changed. Alright, let's run through the grid properly then. It is Canada and Great Britain on the front row with Carter Lundy and Jack West. Then is Simon Perroni and Svetkov. Row 3, Joost Noordijk and Ruben Pedreño. Row 4 is Primož Miklavčić and Max Wiesel. Row 5, Will Lewis and Matt Alder. Row 6, Andrei Tarabukin and Ika Baena. Row 7 is Georges Nader and Istvan Pukki. Row 8 is Ben Sabakonyi and Luke Smith. Row 9, Christoph Zeller and Ruben Vallejo. And at the tail end of the field, by only 8/10, which in the wet at Spa is not that bad, let's be honest, was Norbert Jakob. Alright, who are we rooting for the race win then? If it's going to be dry, then I mean anything goes, quite frankly. If it's wet, well, still anything goes. I mean, you could almost pick a name out of the hat. Well, it's dry at least, but that looks very cloudy. Whoa. You're predicting Jack West will take the lead at turn 1, which is La Source. Certainly possible. Now, of course, the drivers have the option to make any last-minute changes, choose their tyre strategy. Of course, they're not going to be starting on the qualifying tyres. That rule's not run anyway. But I don't think we're going to be finding anybody starting on wet weather tyres. But that is very cloudy. So tyre temperature could be a bit of an issue. I am expecting mostly hard tyres at this point, but we will see as people now start to ready up. Luke Smith, big cheer for Luke Smith. Well, he starts some distance down the field, so it's going to be a bit of a tall ask, but not even, I mean, anything's possible. Again, the likelihood of a safety car at Spa is pretty high, so you really cannot count anything out at this stage. Right, a few more seconds and we'll find out what tyres people have opted to start on. Always a nervous wait. Are we going straight into race, or are we having it? I know I did see that we might not actually be running. We're straight into race. We're not going into the formation lap. So it is Carter Lundy defending from Jack West. Let's bring up what the tyres are. Well, mostly hard, but Ben Sabakonyi has gone soft. Of course, Truth, you're brave. But Jack West, and I forgot actually that I had seen we weren't running a formation lap, so everybody's weaving to try and get some life into the hard tyres, but we're away then, up and over Radion. Let's see how this is going to turn out. Luke Smith and Ben Sabakonyi having an argument. Look at that, people having to weave to get some life into the tyres because they haven't had the formation lap to do so. So Jack West didn't attempt the move. Will Lewis and Matt Alder, because Matt Alder wandered off the road, or was shoved off the road, and lost another position there to Ika Baena. Still several side-by-sides going on. Joost Noordijk and Svetkov having an argument, coming through Bruxelles for 4th place, though Aston Martin winning out on that occasion. Joost Noordijk is... Joost Noordijk? What am I on about? Norbert Jakob. Oh, it's just tangled with Christoph Zeller. Coming down through Speaker's Corner, or no, corner, call it as you will. He's now going to have to spin the Red Bull round. Oh, disastrous start. But that's a pointless camera to run. Let's go with that one. Primož Miklavčić is down in 8th. Tarabukin and Smith having an argument side by side, coming through the chicane of Van der Chicane. Yes, good point. There we go. I forgot to turn the telemetry on as Ben Sabakonyi on the soft tyres has just gotten past Georges Nader. as we see Will Lewis and Primož Miklavčič side by side now coming through Blanchimont. The Aston Martin winning out on that occasion, with Miklavčič losing another position. Bit of a gap forming there. Ikebayena side by side with Miklavčič trying to make his day even worse. The Williams getting a bit of a punch in the face. Oh, and as the Alfa Romeo wanders off the road, oh, he had no real choice there. Still side by side coming down towards the source. And who's going to win out on that occasion? Oh, it's a ghosted car and he's gone round. Primož Miklavčič from, say, potentially would have been pole and has now fallen a long way down the field. Norbert Jakob is miles away from the field now, as he's 11 seconds, so he's had his own issue again along the Camel Straight once again, as you see Carter Lundy having to take a much more defensive line this time. Jack West much more ready to do battle, as Vallejo and Pookie are swapping around. What's happened to his friend Pookie? Oh, he's on the medium tires. He should be doing a bit better than that, but he's been really hustled hard by Ruben Vallejo for 15th place. What about Ben Sabakonyi? We can't really make a move at this point in time. His soft tyres should now be up to operating temperature, but again, he's going to find it a bit difficult to get past people if he leaves it too much longer. Even those soft tyres will take a while to get up to temperature, because it looks skywards. It looks pretty murky up there, and if we see rain later on, that's really going to spice things up. Now everyone's settling into their rhythm a little bit. Carter Lundy leads Jack West, leads Simon Perroni, as the hard runners now should start to get some bite out of the tyres. It looks like Isman Pookie getting away. He got a bit close to Pedreño for Ruben Vallejo, but he's backed off for one reason or another, whether that was because his fuel light was on or he's got damage on the car, as now the fastest lap table tennis kicks in. I'm not surprised that Sabakonyi's taken that one with the soft tyres on his car. And DRS is enabled as Sabakonyi banzais the inside of the Spaniard of Ikebayena into the source to take 9th place. Now, can Jack West challenge for the lead? DRS now available. We know how strong it is. And there you go. On board with Carter Lundy. Wild Ferrari appears on the inside. No! Then pulls right in front of Carter. Well, judge that as you will. That forced Jack West to have to go over the chicane at Lecon. 3 wide now as Simon Perroni goes on the inside line and nails both of them. Andre Terrebuken the first to get a track limits penalty. Jack West on the outside line coming through Bruxelles, and then possibly a nudge there for Joost Noordijk. And right behind there, Svetkov has got a great view of everything going on. Ruben Pedreño ready to do battle if it all comes to tears. My goodness me, the DRS train at the moment is first, right the way down to 17th. No, actually 18th. The only one not in it is Norbert Jakob at this point in time. Goodness me, is there damage to the Canadians' front wing? We will see. Matthew damage question mark? Don't know. I mean, he's in 11th at the minute. Let's see what the losers and gainers from the start were. Perroni up 2, Jack West is still level, Carter Lundy up 2, Ben Sabakonyi up 6th, and Primož Miklavčič down 10. So, back up towards the front. I keep changing camera, I don't mean to do that. So, can Perroni now really break away from Jack West et al? We will see. Carter Lundy is keeping his battery fully charged, if nothing else, as that's another position for Sabakonyi on the inside line of Max Vito coming through La Source once again, as Norbert Jakob has pitted his car. We'll see. Yeah, I did wonder whether that was going to be a retirement for him, and that's exactly what has taken place. And Carter Lundy not close enough to mount a challenge at this stage. Joost Noordijk, I think, is biding his time in the Aston Martin right behind him. Yeah, keeping an eye. Oh, that's Luke Smith and Andre Terrebuken side by side coming through Lecon. It was trouble sector 1, because that's Norbert Jakob's car that's decided to leave the pit lane and is going to park itself around that area. Wow. And the sun looks like it's beginning to break out, so it could be that we won't be seeing any more rain. Some drivers will be happy about that somewhat, as Norbert Jakob has sadly left the session. I'm keeping an eye on Ben Sabagoni because I'm very, very curious on how his strategy is going to work out. And there, you're now starting to see the shadows appearing. So the sunshine is now starting to grace the Ardennes forest. Through Stavalo and through Purple Frame once again. Ghost Nordyke is getting close to Carter Lundy. Is he going to make the move? Is he not? Is he going to bounce like this one on the inside line of the chicane? He thinks about it. It would have been a hell of a big move, and Carter shut the door anyway. Oh, but Sabaconi went for the move on the inside then outside line of Will Lewis. He's been favouring the move into La Source, but of course the more he does that, the more life he takes out of his tyres. But that is 7th now for the Haas. Good effort there from Ben Sabaconi, who is, I'm sure I read somewhere he was standing in, but either way, he's just about hanging on to DRS range from Ruben Pedreño, who should just about maintain it. And there we go, yes, so he does indeed keep DRS to the field ahead. Everybody very, very close. Will Lewis getting a bit twitchy behind Ben Sabaconi. And that's Matthew Walder now with his name on the penalty board in the Red Bull. He's got George Nader for company. You can imagine a lot of people are going to be biding their time. Actually, the entire remainder of the field is all in this DRS train. You right the way down to 18th. He's Van Pookie. He is within a second of the car ahead. But those medium tyres have done him no favours whatsoever. Now, whether there's damage to the front wing, the end plate are there. But yeah, he may well have damage that we simply cannot see from the external position. But one victim so far, Norbert Jakob, retiring his car. And we will see how the rest of the field do then, as everybody just settling into their rhythm now. And of course, with the DRS train being so long, it's everybody that has DRS then has to follow someone with DRS, etc, etc. So Izzy's Van Pookie starting to push on now, as he's closed in a little bit on our pole starting Miklavcic, who had a big spin in the opening laps. And Sabaconi almost fell outside of the DRS race to Ruben Pedreño. And of course, those tyres are not going to last more than about, well, probably now is when the best of those tyres have already passed. So the Haas might be a bit unlucky with DRS on the Camel Straight once again. Carter Lundy keeping very, very close to Jack West as they come up at Nova Radion once more. DRS open for everybody. I would think Simon Perroni probably has enough gap to be safe this time around, and Carter, he's biding his time. He's not using a lot of ERS energy at this stage in the race. That's not entirely surprising. With most people on the harder tyres, people will be biding their time. Bit of a breakaway there. You can see there's a gap forming between Svetkov and Joost Noordijk, 4th to 5th. So the top 4 trying to potentially break a race. Simon Perroni is just kind of trying to maintain that gap up front, still with a lot of battery power in the tank. You know it's not going to stay that way all race long, because it's as we get more towards the, certainly after the pit stop phase, when most people are going for the same strategy, that's when fireworks are really going to happen, I would have thought. Who else can we have a look at? We haven't looked at Ika Baena for a while. He's nailed to the back of Max Wiesel. The Williams challenging the Alpine. And also Georges Nader is also hustling Matthew Walder for 11th position. The second Williams is hustling the Red Bull, also the sole surviving Red Bull in this race. At the moment, as I say, people just biding their time. Oh, George had a look on the inside line there, but was too far back. And in comes Ben Sabaconi, the best indeed burn from those soft tyres. It'll have to be hard tyres. I cannot see how we'd make mediums last, what, 15, 16 laps. So is he going to go mediums or is he going to go high? It's got to be hard tyres, surely. But of course, he's not going to have any kind of DRS until everybody pits. And yeah, it is indeed hard tyres. Actually, it's going to be Ismail Pookie that's going to have a difficult decision. Does he pit early for hards or does he go long for softs? That's going to be a tricky one for him to maintain. I wondered if George was going to have an opportunity to attack Matthew Walder there. But wow, Matthew Walder just really got a few car lengths on George there. And Will Lewis has fallen outside of DRS range to the McLaren of Ruben Pedreño with very little battery energy left. So that's going to put the Aston Martin in a big position, a difficult position I should say, as Svetkov now adds his name to the penalty board on lap 7. Several track limit penalties being accrued. And that's not because they're careless, it's because it's very hard to press on at this pace, at this level, without kind of pushing the limits. So Ben Sabaconi now back out on track, so he's 15-ish seconds behind his friend Pookie at this point. We'll keep an eye on that gap to see. I mean, the best you can really hope for is that most other people pit for mediums, I would have thought, but we will see. I suspect we're going to see a lot of people pitting for softs in about 7 or 8 laps time. That's what I'm expecting to see, as the sun very much now in full flow. That'll help the track temperature a bit, which will help the hard runners, as will Lewis, as we continue to look at him just set the fastest lap. Kind of the opposite of a commentator's curse there. If I'm actually helping someone, help them go quicker by looking at them. Which we have a look at as we come up and over Radion once more. Svetkov, well, I mean, look at the gaps between the top 5. They're all pretty much equidistant. Ruben Pedreño is a bit close to the back of the Mercedes. Did Will Lewis get DRS? Yes, he did. So he was just in DRS range at the crucial time, but very little ERS energy left, and the fuel light is on. So he's burnt a bit too much fuel. He will have to back off at some point. Actually, so will Simon Perny. So they're going to have to manage that as time goes on. Obviously, much more ERS energy, but that's not going to help his fuel consumption later on. Jack West, same story. That's assuming that fuel light is actually working as it should be. As far as I know, it does. Looking further down. So there we go. Svetkov doesn't have the fuel warning on, so he can press on a bit more, but he's subsequently got less energy in the ERS tanks. So, you know, that could bite him back, because there are a few heavy braking zones, but considering how long the straights are, ERS energy management is a tricky thing here at Spa at this kind of level. Yost is staying about 0.3 of a second behind Carter. No move that time around. Staying very close to the diffuser of the Alpine as we cross the line once more to start lap 9. Oh, Jack is getting a bit closer to the back of Simon Perny. But Simon gets a good run from the exit of La Source. Wilt hanging on in there. He's not got a lot of ERS energy, but he does maintain that all-crucial DRS on the Camel Straight. If you lose that, you just drop like an absolute stone. Ruben Pedreño's getting close. That's the wrong way. But not close enough. Oh, Jack got very close there to Simon Perny, but no movement for the lead just yet. Now, is anyone going to attempt the undercut? Ben Sabaconi has maintained that gap to around 14. He's gained half a second on the field. Istvan Pukki is actually falling off the back of the field. Is that because the medium tyres are now starting to expire, or is Ben Sabaconi just trying to make those tyres last? Bit of column A, bit of column B, I would think. The second McLaren, Ruben Vallejo, was getting quite close, or is quite close to the back of Andrei Tarabukin. No move being made just yet. Everybody just following the tyre tracks. Everyone just doing the conga at the moment. Conga line first to 17th at the moment. The odd one out being Ben Sabaconi. There he is. He's had to use up a fair amount of his ERS to try and keep that gap from growing too big. Bit of a gap forming between Jack West and Carter Lundy now. The Ferrari very close to the back of the Alfa Romeo. Of course, the gaps do ebb and flow. We all know this. Oh, well, Lewis, what's happened to you? You've pitted. Don't do that. I thought that was quite early for the hard tyres. These are the medium tyres then going on to Will Lewis, George Snyder, Luke Smith, Primoz Miklavčić, and Eastman Pookie, but Eastman Pookie's already been on medium tyres, so that's a second set of mediums then for Eastman, or hard tyres, beg your pardon, as Ben Sabagoni now sets the fastest lap. So medium tyres then, that's quite early for the hard tyres to be fitted. As Christoph Zeller, I've looked away the wrong time as Simon Perroni bounces off of Jack West. Oh, will he be told to... Well, Simon Perroni slotted behind the Ferrari, so the move was made, but then suddenly he got a bit squiggly coming through Les Combes and had to bail on that one. So, well, that got lively for the lead. And wow, has Jack West really pressed on? He's not got the fuel warning light on. He's already got himself half a second over the Frenchman. So, Struth, he's now decided to push his right foot a little bit harder. Several people. The car I was looking at was Christoph Zeller because he was getting very close to the back of Andrei Tarabukin for now 11th position. But suddenly then the lead changed hands. Joost Noordijk keeping Carter Lundy honest. We come through Stavolo once more. Jack is really getting on with it. Look at that. He's wanting to try and build up a gap to Simon Perroni to prevent the counter-attack from happening. But is anybody else going to be coming into the pits? So Will Lewis on the medium tyres. And in comes that lead group. Well, three of them did. Carter chose to continue. Interesting. As so did Svetkov, actually. So look at that. Loads and loads of cars. Ruben Vallejo also didn't come in. As Andrei Tarabukin gets himself a 5-second speeding in the pit lane penalty. Now that wasn't preceded by damage, so... Now the golden question is, where will Will Lewis filter out compared to these guys? Because of course he pitted a lap before them. That's right on board with the Aston. You can see on the map that this great big pack are now going to streaming out of the pits. And it's back to business as usual. He slots in behind Nika Baena. So the Spaniards gained well out of that one. Well. Oh, as Ika Baena nearly ran a bit... Well, that's Ruben Pedreño nearly ran a little wide there. And lots of fidgeting as people are trying to warm their tyres up. But Will Lewis, his tyres will already be up to operating temperatures. He nearly hits the back of the Williams. George Nader and Luke Smith. Well, Luke Smith is still arguing with Matthew Walder, along with Ben Sabacogni is side by side with Max Wiesel. Wow, that's a lot of fighting going on straight out of the pits for some, but with a lap already on the tyres. And no trouble for Ika Baena. I can't get his name. He's falling through the field. Spin up at Bruxelles for the Williams, and that's dropped him down to 14th place. Oh no, on the fresh tyres. Now is being hustled by Andrei Tarabukin as Luke Smith has just gone past Ben Sabacogni. I'd imagine that Ben is going to be really, really struggling as the race continues. But up front, Simon Perroni now leads this particular train with Joost Noordijk second. And Jack West, who was in the lead briefly, is now in sixth position. Lundy and Svetkov are in, and along with Ruben Vallejo. So no one decided to go very long on the hards for softs. Matthew Alder gets past Ben Sabacogni as well. And medium tyres all around. Soft tyres just don't last at Spa, so it's not really a surprise. So Simon Perroni should quite easily take the lead, but with Joost Noordijk now right behind him. Georges Nader, quickest man on circuit now. Oh no, Carter Lumby, he did the overcut, but he's now going to be counter-attacked by Simon Perroni. Carter's going to be fairly I think lamb to the slaughter here. So Simon Perroni should take the lead from the Alpine. Carter didn't even defend the inside line as Pedreño and Svetkov swap round. But Joost Noordijk couldn't follow through as he nudges the back of the Canadian. That put Carter Lundy slightly out of kilter. And through goes the Aston. And now the Ferrari. Jack West trying to make Carter Lundy's day even worse. My word. So Carter looked like he made the overcut work. But in the blink of an eye, it's gone from first to fourth. It was a bit brutish from Joost Noordijk, I think, to nudge the back of Carter Lundy. But I'm sure it wasn't intentional, but he certainly capitalised on that. Jack West is just following through. And why do we have a yellow in Sector 2? That is because Andrei Tarabukin has spun. I think he's tangled with Primož Miklavčič. Yeah, Primož was there as well and looked like Primož led him through. And now Andrei's letting him back through again. So there's been an incident between Primož Miklavčič and Andrei Tarabukin up at Speaker's Corner. Oh dear. And it's a virtual safety car. No front wing on Primož's car. Well, that will be because Primož and Andre were possibly a bit slow trying to actually resolve the issue. They weren't trying to cause a safety car. I think they were trying to resolve the issue between them. So, we did have an incident last week that caused Danny Lusing to be excluded for 3 rounds because it was deemed that he intentionally brought out a safety car. That was not what we just saw here. As they were just trying to sort the issue out between them. So in comes Primož Miklavčić, and the Mercedes stays out. So Terry Buchan undamaged in that circumstance. So this will help those that have the fuel warning light on, as everybody has to, of course, back off. You can't. You have a delta to maintain when you have the VSC out. Of course, Jack West can't just blatter, or nobody can absolutely hoon it. They say DRS is back open, back enabled, I should say. So that means the VSC is withdrawn. So Luke Smith capitalises on that and takes 9th position from Max Wiesel. Soft tyres onto Primož's car. That's a tad optimistic, sir. I think you're going to struggle there. Oh, as Luke Smith and Max Wiesel nearly come together coming through Bruxelles, but just about managed to avoid contact there. There's a gap between George Nader and Svetkov for 7th position, for 6th position, I should say. So George's Nader is going to have to push quite hard to gain the back of Svetkov then to get back within DRS range. He's certainly fast enough to do it. He's certainly talented enough to close that gap down. But what about Simon Perroni? Still with the fuel warning light on, though. He's going to have to back off at some point. But Joost Noordijk does not have that trouble. So everybody has been through the pits at least once. We'll see if the strategies are going to play out. Zika Bayana has made Ben Sobakonyi's day even worse. Ben Sobakonyi's strategy just completely undoing itself right before his very eyes. Jack has fallen a little bit behind Joost Noordijk, but nothing too much to worry about with Carter Lundy, Ruben Pedreño and Svetkov in very, very short order. And has George managed to get in DRS range in time? He's had to burn up a fair amount of ERS energy, you can see there at the bottom, to do it. Yes, he did. See, he managed to get back in range by the detection point. That's the gap. That's what just under a second looks like in these cars. As Max Wiesel and Luke Smith swap round. Luke didn't have DRS. Fairly straightforward move then for the Alpine to reclaim 9th position from the Season 30 champion. And now Jack is right under the rear wing of Joost Noordijk. So now the rhythm is re-established. This will be an opportunity for some to try and get some ERS energy back. Fair play to Primož Miklavčić. It's been a day of mixed emotions, starting from pole but plummeting to the back of the field and then tangling up with Andre Tarabukin, necessitating another pit stop. But he hasn't thrown in the towel. He hasn't quit. So fair play to Primož. We continue to keep an eye on the top group as they work their way through Blanchimont once more, down towards the chicane. Also, Ruben Vallejo very, very close to the back of Matthew Walder. Is he going to try and challenge for 11th coming into the chicane? He thought about it, but did not commit to the move. Simon Perroni, well, never mind. The fastest lap changing hands with every car passing it. Oh, Joost, did you go a bit deep into the source there? You got a bit squiggly. And that's Ruben Vallejo and Matthew Walder swapping around. And into the pits comes Andre Tarabukin, who'd already got himself a 5 seconds penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And that's a retirement. Second one of the race. Are we going to see any changes in the top group? Not this time. As Tarabukin parks a Mercedes for the night. Well, very, very tense then for the field as they work their way through lap 15. Just screaming through the second half of this race. Who shall we have a look at? Let's have a quick look with George. Very little energy left in the ERS tank, but doesn't have to defend from Will Lewis behind, as Will is 2 seconds back in a similar state of ERS battery. Let's check in actually with what our leaders have got ERS wise. So good amount of battery for Simon Perroni. Joost Noordijk, similar story, but with no fuel warning light on either. And Max Wiesel's retired. What's happened there? There he is. He's had a problem on the exit of the Le France chicane. He's not going to be... Yes, it's a safety car. Whoa, Primož Miklavčić. That's going to bring you right back into the order. So a spin then for Max Wiesel, burying his car into the wall, has deployed the safety car. Well, Primož Miklavčić is going to be rubbing his hands with this one. And into the pits comes Perroni, Pedreño... Oh my God, most of the field are coming in. This will be some soft tyres, surely. But Joost has chosen to continue. Well, Joost, Jack West, Carter Lundy, Svetkov and Will Lewis have all chosen to continue. And that's going to come right into the hands of Ben Sabakonyi as well, who was really struggling. As Carter Lundy has nudged the back. How could he have nudged Jack West when he was 2 positions behind him? So not sure how you've managed that, but I suspect that one will be looked at. Oh, well. Now, not everybody could have pitted at the same time, because of course his number of teams still have both cars, but for instance, both Astons have stayed out. Primož is actually pitted as well. Well, why not? It's a free pit stop, because he'll have to join the back of the safety car line anyway. What is going on with Jack? Why is he dropped to 5th? Well, he was there anyway, wasn't he? Yes. So now there's Simon Perroni right behind him on fresh, soft tyres. Well. Now the safety car is going to wait for Primož Miklavčić to catch the back of the field. Of course, he doesn't want to burn too much life out of the tyres, nor does he want to use too much ERS energy. I suspect we're going to have another lap behind the safety car because the 3rd sector line is just before Stavolo, and Primož isn't going to gain that gap down in time. So I think we're going to have another full lap behind the safety car. But there it is. Safety car lights are still on. If they're not extinguished by the end of sector 3, by the end of sector 2, generally that means it's going to do another lap. So, as I thought it would be, because the last car was not caught at the back of the line, which is of course our pole sitter Primož Miklavčić, the safety car will do another lap. It won't just suddenly banzai into the pit at the very last second. Now, does that mean that the top 5 are going to consider a pit stop? That's going to drop them right to the back of the field. I think they've committed, to be honest. I think they're going to have to sit with the strategy that they're on. Oh no, Carter doesn't. Oh, Carter, that's why. So Carter did indeed have an impact. Now we saw that the penalty came up that he had an impact with Jack West, so he had no choice. He had to come in for a fresh nose. Well, that's pretty much... why is Miklavčić pitted again? Why is he pitted again? Is he trying to make this safety car period last even longer? I don't get why Primož Miklavčić has gone into the pits for another set of softs. You already were on a fresh set and you didn't need a new front wing. Don't get that. I don't understand why he's done that. Oh well. I have no answer to that, I'm afraid, but at least this time he should, along with Carter Lundy, get the back of the train before the safety car gets down towards Stavolo. I hope, because I don't want to be following the safety car for the next 4 laps. 5 laps, rather. Well. I do feel a bit sorry for the medium runners at this point. They would be quite happy if the safety car carried on going until the checkered flag fell, but I reckon those 4 on the mediums are going to be absolutely mugged by the soft runners. Their tyres now up to racing temperature. It's going to be a hard job for Joost Noordijk, for Svetkov, for Will Lewis and for Jack West to maintain that position, unless, of course, we get more impact or more safety cars or what have you. But now that Carter Lundy, now the tail end of the field, has caught the snake, has caught the train, has caught the conga line, call it as you will, we should see the lights on the safety car go off right about now. There it is, end of sector 2, and boom, the safety car lights go off, and now Joost Noordijk backs the pack up, gives the safety car enough time to head off towards the pit lane. That's a great camera, isn't it? When they're at slow speed, you have to wait for them to get into view. Oh, that's almost nauseating riding on board with someone that is screaming around like that. But into the pits comes the safety car then, so it's up to Joost Noordijk to drop the hammer and get the race back underway. He's taking his time about it. I'm going to stay with Simon Perny because I think the soft runners are going to have an advantage, and away they go. Actually, Simon Perny was caught napping there a little bit. But he'll close that gap down very quickly as he nearly, I didn't think it was going to be that quick, as he nearly slams the back of Jack West. But here we go, we are racing once again for Spa. 5 laps remain of this 22 lap race, and already we've got jostling for positions. The Ferrari, bounces the inside. Will Lewis will send into a bit of a spin. That's Sabakonyi has gone up 2 positions as well. Looking at the tower, actually him and Matthew Walder still arguing, riding on board with Simon Perny that could be in great shape for the lead. There's of course side by sides going on all over the place. That's Sabakonyi and Ruben Vallejo still side by side. There's that's the one I was trying to catch up with. Simon Perny inside line of Jack West still side by side. Don't want that camera. There we go with that one. Jack West has to concede that one. He can't hold on to the, my goodness, Matthew Alder and Ruben Vallejo. Vallejo and Ika Bayana and Ben Sabakonyi all have gone off the road. Oh my goodness me. More chaos and anarchy at the tail end of it. Will Lewis has spun. Oh my goodness me. Will Lewis has retired the car. No, not on track. Oh no, that's surely going to be another safety car. But proceeded there. Well, the car is at least moving, so he might have avoided a safety car. My goodness me. That's so Will Lewis leaving out of frustration. That's going to park the car on the side of the road. I'm surprised that didn't even cause a virtual safety car there. I was expecting something to be triggered. So 4 down, 15 remain. As Simon Perny now on the back of Svetkov. Joost Noordijk has got himself about 0.7 of a second gap up front. So one of those remaining on the medium tyres has fallen. Ika Bayana has swapped positions with Ben Sabakonyi about 5 seconds off the back of the field. It's keeping an eye on Simon Perny. Fastest lap. Surprises no one by that one. Is the Frenchman going to have a look on the inside of the source? He has. Yes, he does. He's got Svetkov there, but the Mercedes having a look back at Simon Perny. Nudges back into the lead. Who's going to be braver on the brakes coming down into Eau Rouge? They're still side by side. Neither of them wanted to give this one up. How the hell did that not end up with both of them in the wall? I don't know, but they have both survived just about. Here comes Jack West, and can he get back involved in it? No, but Luke Smith is side by side with George's Nader coming into Lake On. Can't hold it. Oh my goodness me. Ben Sabakonyi is back in the pits. I would think that's going to be his, well, that is his day done. How is he going to retire the car? Well, no, he's pitted and he looks like he's coming back out. Joost Noordijk trying to break the DRS to Simon Perny in second place. Luke Smith though trying to improve his position. Gap now between himself and Matt Alder. I can see there's plenty of chat going on, but I cannot look at it as there is plenty going on. As you can quite clearly see, Ruben Pedreño getting very close to Jack West. I think Jack is going to, well, Jack and Svetkov and potentially Joost are going to really struggle in the closing stages of the race with these soft tyres right on their tail. What can the Ferrari do? Can he do anything? The McLaren is gaining as Jack West holds the inside line coming through Blanchimont. Ruben doesn't banzai around the outside. Surely he's going to try an outside manoeuvre into the chicane. And that should be a fairly straightforward move for the McLaren. The Ferrari makes his day as hard as he can. But the Spaniard is nosed into the lead. But can he hold it? Now DRS is available to the drivers. Still side by side. Jack West could challenge. Coming down into La Source for 4th place. Ruben Pedreño still holding on to that one. Jack nudges back into the lead. It's right on board with Georges Naders. He's got a great view. No, but the McLaren dumps the battery and back up into 4th place then. Now we're going to see Jack potentially lose another, certainly one, but could lose another couple. Oh, look at this. Luke Smith is less than a 10th behind Nader. Boxed in behind his teammate. Oh my God. On the grass. Oh, bit of a tap there. That's Jack West off. He got punched in the face and is out of this race. Oh no, is that another safety car about to be deployed as the Ferrari finds itself buried in the wall at Les Combes? It doesn't look like it at the moment, but why? Why were there so many side-by-sides coming into Les Combes? Jack West left the session and amazingly hasn't triggered a safety car. Simon Perroni then biding his time to attack Joost Noordijk. I don't know how that didn't cause a safety car, considering when Max Wiesel's car retired it did cause a full safety car. I honestly would have thought the Jack West car would have stranded car would have caused the safety car there, but either way, Carter Lundy now adding his name to the penalty board. Let's have a quick look at how that looks. There you go, everyone with the penalty on has 3 seconds to their name. Who's had a problem? Georges Nader has had a problem and has dropped down the field. His day getting no better by the look of that. There was no VSC go. I thought we might have had a VSC for a second there, but right, breathe. Back on then with the remaining part of this race. Just 2 laps remain as we ride on board with Simon Perroni screaming down the hill, up and over Raidillon. Can Joost Noordijk do anything about it? Not a chance. That is slam dunk there for Simon Perroni as Pedreño is getting past Svetkov. That was a bit closer of a move there. As we have yellow briefly, didn't quite see who that was for, but Pedreño up into 3rd as Georges Nader has brought his car into the pits. That's a retirement there, but Sabaconi gets past his lap. Well, there's a consolation point for him. But yeah, Georges Nader did the right thing there, brought his car back to the pits and parked it. Goodness me. So Simon Perroni should have the advantage now. He's got nothing to worry about for his fuel tank. Doesn't need to push that hard to keep Joost Noordijk behind. As Georges Nader's car is coming back out of the pits for some reason. Although, crikey, Joost Noordijk not prepared to just let the Frenchman waltz off into the distance. Suddenly closed in very, very much on Simon Perroni there. So the Aston Martin could try and mount an attack on the Alfa Romeo for that top spot. It'll be incredible if he manages that. Is he going to have a look? He's keeping close. Pedreño is following him as well. About the same amount of ERS energy as we come into another penalty for Ben Sabagogna there. Final lap. Oh, it is not done and dusted. I thought Simon Perroni would be able to dance over the distance a bit deep there for Joost Noordijk coming through La Source, but doesn't suffer as a result. So DRS, ERS, everything they've got for the last time. Perroni, Noordijk, Pedreño, Svetkov and Smith all in the top 5. Perroni goes deep, goes defensive rather. Joost Noordijk goes from the outside line and gets it done. The Aston Martin is back up into the lead. Zana and Alder swap round along with Vallejo and Pukki. Oh, throat's dying, but what a race we've got. And Svetkov adds to his penalty count. My goodness me, great move there from Joost Noordijk, but can he fend off Simon Perroni? That is going to be the golden question. Pedreño is probably going to be able to keep Svetkov behind, but then I thought Perroni was going to keep Joost Noordijk behind, quite frankly, but again, because of the tyre difference. But Joost Noordijk has managed to use everything he had to get back up into the lead. We'll see, can he hold it? It's going to be a bit tense coming through Blanchimont, I dare say. But here they come then. Campus, Stavolo, And now Joost has got to use everything he can to try and keep the Frenchman behind. But Simon's too far back. Of course, the fuel light's going to be on. Well, that'll be why, because Joost has managed to keep a bit more fuel to himself. And that's, that rather sealed the deal for this race. Your winner here for PCF2 at PSGL at Spa is the Aston Martin of Joost Noordijk. Second is Simon Perroni. Third, Ruben Pedreño. Fourth, by penalty count, is Luke Smith. Fifth, Christoph Zeller. Sixth, sixth, Ruben Vallejo. Seventh, Svetkov. Eighth, Matthew Walder. Ninth, Carter Lundy. 10th, our pole starter, Primož Miklavčič. 11th was Isran Puki. 12th, Ika Bayona. 13th, Ben Sabakoni, or will be when he finds the line. We lost George Snyder, Jack West, Will Lewis, Max Wiesel, and Andre Tarabukin. Wow. That was quite nuts. So we're just waiting for Ben Sabakoni. There he is. I think Vince actually hung on to the fastest lap there. Oh, great move from Joost Noordijk there to take the win. Driver of the day, Ruben Vallejo, why not? He started near the back and ended up well inside the top 10. Why not? Great effort there. But the podium celebration very much belong to Joost Noordijk. A good effort as well from Simon Perroni. I really thought he had that one summed up, but the Dutchman had other ideas on that one. That's quite a strange celebration there, but okay, fair enough. And then the Spaniard, Ruben Vallejo, great job there. Oh, superb. I'm just getting over that. That was absolutely fantastic. So as the podium celebrations come to an end, there it is. Before Stewart's intervention, it is Joost Noordijk on the top spot. Simon Perroni second. Ruben Pedreño, I said Ruben Vallejo just now, in third. Luke Smith fourth. Christoph Zeller 5. Ruben Vallejo in sixth. Starting 18th and finishing in sixth position. Brilliant effort. Actually, Smith, Zeller and Vallejo all gained the same number of positions. So brilliant effort for all three of them. Zeller in seventh. Zeller, what am I on about? Svetkov in seventh. Matthew Walder 8th. Carter Lundy 9th. Primož Miklavčič rounding out the top 10. Isran Puki, Ika Bayona and Ben Sabagoni, the remaining ones finding the checkered flag, with the Hungarian getting the fastest lap. We lost George Snyder, Jack West, Will Lewis, Max Wiesel, Andre Tarabukin and Orba Jakob in the course of the race. Holy moly. That was really quite something, was it not? Shall we see who wants to come and have a chat to us? Oh, wow. Let's get the waiting music back up and running. Wow, I'm absolutely knackered after that. That was brilliant. So, who wants to come and have a chat to me? Does anybody want to have a chat to me? Not just yet. We'll give our drivers a few moments. They don't have to come and have a chat to us. It's always nice to hear from our Podium 3 particularly, but it's not mandatory. They don't have to come and have a chat. Some drivers prefer not to. It is absolutely fine. There is nothing wrong with that whatsoever. So we'll give our drivers a few minutes to see what they want to do, whether they want to come and have a chat or whether they're going to call it a night. So after tonight, next time out, it is Mexico. And as I said at the top of the show, that's when our commentator changes happen, with George Morgan announcing his retirement from PSGL. Dan Field goes through to take that particular spot, with Luke Etheridge coming to join me here in F2. And we've got our race winner coming to have a chat to us. Excellent stuff. Let's then have a chat with the Flying Dutchman. That is Joost Noordijk.
Hello.
Oh my God, you... How?
I don't know.
Now, I must admit, I really thought when Simon Perroni got past you, I thought that was it. With fresher, soft tyres, I didn't think you would have an answer. But, oh, how wrong was I. What a brilliant move.
Yeah, when Simon overtook me, I just let him go because I was also happy with P2. He had the fresher tire on the sauce, but they're dropping also quite fast. So, and then he made a small mistake, so I could catch up. And then after straight, I didn't have to use my EOS on that straight to keep close. And I think that was the thing to get the chance to overtake him on the camel straight. So yeah, very happy.
I bet. Straight alive. Now, so many people love Spa. Was this a circuit you were looking forward to?
Yeah, Spa's always good to race on. The only thing was DRS stealing, and I was quite waiting before Simon would go on the brakes before the DRS line, but he didn't do that, so that was quite good to see.
And it's Mexico next time. Is that a track you're looking forward to?
Yeah, but I'm on vacation then, so I'm not driving on Mexico. So it's a bit disappointing.
You break our hearts, Joost. Well, have a good holiday next time out, and we look forward to your return. Thank you very much, Joost Noordijk.
Thank you.
We also have the man in the Ferrari. It is Jack West. Jack, are you with us?
Hello.
Well, you had a lot of fighting to do as well, didn't you?
Yep, it was fun, I guess.
So, were you, when you saw the wet weather in the qualifying session, were you thinking, "Oh God, this could be chaos," or does that not enter your mind?
Wet, I'm usually quite good in, so I just took it as it went. I thought I had good pace in the wet. I have done for the last few games, but on my final quali lap, I made a massive mistake in sector 2. I think I lost about 2 temps, maybe 3 temps, and cost me pole. But P2, you can work from P2, and I thought that I had some good pace in the race, so we can make it work. And then obviously, the driving standards were the worst I've ever seen in a league, to be honest. I got punted on lap 2 into Lecom. I got punted again at the same corner, and then I went into the pits in the lead. I was chilling in the lead, and then for some reason I got stopped in the pits and lost 2 places. So got down to P3, and then safety car came out. Carter hit me, lost another 2 places, and then someone thought it was a good idea to make it 3 wide on the straight, and then I got hit and lost my wheel. So, when you put a lot of practice in, when you got to, dedicate your week to practicing, to get taken out like that, and it's not good, man. And I had a goal to fight for the championship this season, and it's so demotivating. Like, my luck has been really bad this season. Like in Austria with the weather, I had very bad luck there, and then obviously in here as well, I probably could have had a chance to win, but the driving standards were very bad this race. But you know what? I mean, there's still long left to go, and I'll probably go again next week. But yeah, that's really, really unfortunate.
It's Mexico next time out. Is that a track that usually does you well?
Mexico is pretty decent for me. Yeah, on previous games, we'll see how it goes.
We wish you better fortune as the season rolls on. Thank you very much, Jack West.
Cheers.
Speaking of the Canadian, he's made himself available. Let's have a chat with Carter Lundy.
Hello.
Carter. Well, you were kind of everywhere in this race. You towards the front, you were in pole. You looked like you were going to start in pole for a while, and then a few tangles, and you found yourself at the back. What happened?
Yeah, well, it started off in qualifying. I put in a really solid lap in the wet and qualified on pole, which I was running a little bit higher wings than everybody in the field, which definitely helped out in the wet. And yeah, in the race, I don't know, I had really good pace. I had really good management on the battery. I was at 100 basically most of the time. Yeah, under the safety car, my audio cut out. I tried to look down to fix it, and then I just looked up and Jack was there, and I went into the back of him, which was just, I don't know, really, really unlucky for him, but it just very unfortunate to have that luck when things are going really well. And then after that, just, there was chaos ahead, and I think I finished like P7.
And what about Mexico next time out? Is that a track you're looking forward to?
Yeah, I don't think track matters too much. I'm sure we're all gonna sweat like 100 hours in a week, and we'll all be on pace. But I've just had some bad luck in the early few races in the season. I just need to move past it and just have a better second half.
We hope it goes well for you in the South American state. Thank you very much, Carter Lundy. And that is going to be it for this race. Thank you very much to those that have been with us throughout tonight's broadcast. A great pleasure to have you on board. And to those catching up post-event, we enjoy your company as well. Next time out, Luke Etheridge will be with me in the box, so you won't have to contend with my silly sputterings as the races go on. But until next time, it is Mexico. We'll see you then. Till next time, thank you very much, and good night.
This broadcast was brought to you by GT Omega and Grid Rival, proudly supporting PSGL.